My never I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there. I see them yopo.
For Kwesi Pratt Jr. have reacted to some of the questions that Ebisa nominees, our parliament. I think some of the questions are very, very unnecessary, and Waba reacted to it. And me pese me bo video no ma. And me pese ubenya abotre na wati video no monsem na fe so wo bibi kan ewo ho a na wo dia ba ewo comment section no. Aha that's why almighty PENDREAM TV. Subscribe, press on the notification bell, and share this video as well.
In that look, members of the appointments committee need to understand very clearly that their work is at a cost to the state and also to citizens, even in their private capacity. First of all, this is being telecast live by many television stations. Now, if you calculate how much advertisements cost per minute, and we spend 10 hours at the appointments committee, that's a huge amount of money, which we are spending. Then come to think of the time, that people stop doing their work and so on to watch. You can also cost that in monetary terms, and even cost that in terms of social loss and social gain and so on, So what they're doing is at a cost. And they have a responsibility, to the extent that it is possible, to minimize the cost to all of us of this exercise. Vetting people for 10 hours, really, when at the end, both sides agree that there's nothing wrong, the person should be approved, is problematic. You understand? It's really problematic. Now, again, sometimes I sit back and I wonder. This gentleman who has been nominated to become Ashanti Regional Minister, I watch his video. Yeah. The guy comes in and then they start. Oh, we know you are a TikToker. I mean, all of you saw it. He says, yes. Oh, before you came to the committee, did you do any posting? He said, yes, I did. What did you post and so on? At that stage, I was thinking that somebody may have seen a post which would be relevant to his character or to his work or something.
True.
Nothing like that. So I'm sitting at home watching television and say, what a joke. What is this about?
So you're questioning the relevance of that comment.
Exactly. I mean, it's reduced to some comical enterprise. You understand? Then there's another one, and the person is asked, what is your favorite song? And he mentions his favorite song. Can you sing it for us? My goodness. What is that? The whole vetting process being reduced to some, talent hunt?
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
Someone was asked to sing them.
Before.
Methodist hymn.
That is long ago.
Yes,
I mean, the Methodist hymn is, it was during President Mills's tenure.
Yes.
Where somebody nominated to serve as a minister comes before the committee and they say, you go to church? He says, yes, I go to church. Oh, you must therefore know how to sing hymns. What is your favorite hymn? She mentions it. I say, sing your favorite hymn for us. Another guy, I think it was Professor Phoebe also.
Okay, lands and natural resources.
Who was asked to sing the national anthem. What is happening? I raised this issue yesterday. And some very distinguished citizens, actually said that, sometimes they can tell that the nominee is so tense and it's an attempt to help the nominee break out of the tension and feel relaxed and so on. If somebody is nominated a minister, you want to test their stress level. If they can't take stress, if sitting before the appointments committee, they become so nervous that you have to make them sing Methodist hymn and Amachi Dede songs and so on, they are not qualified to be ministers. Because the job of a minister entails a lot of stress. You understand? So if you go and sit on the appointments committee and you think that your duty is to help relieve stress and so on, what are you doing to us? You know, the other thing which really, I mean, shocks me is when a nominee appears before the committee and a member, you know, asks for the right to ask a question, and, you know, puts up a hand and so on. And then he starts by saying, oh, you are a very honorable person. I know that you are an excellent person. You are more than qualified to do the job. You have no difficulty exercising your functions as a minister. Thank you very much. I have no questions to ask. Is that the purpose of the appointments committee? Is that the purpose? Praise singing? What is that? Look, I think that all Ghanaians want a serious job to be done. One, because these ministers have been nominated and are likely to assume office at a time when this country is in very deep crisis. And the crisis that this country is in dictates that processes leading to nomination, vetting, and appointment are serious processes. Yes, we are in crisis. You know, we can go through the crisis. I don't think that I want to go through that now. Everybody knows the crisis in which we are. So the appointments committee ought to be serious. The other problem that I have with the appointments committee is that it's becoming a platform for political point scoring. That is not what it's supposed to be. You know, you said this about my party and so on. Come and clear yourself and so on. No, I don't think that it is a platform for political point scoring. Now, because of that, the public is able to predict what is likely to happen. Who is going to stay there for 10 hours and who is going to stay there for 10 minutes and so on. It's so predictable. I mean, this morning, I'm watching social media, and the public is predicting that Okudatu will probably be the longest, stay the longest with the appointments committee. I hope that the public is proved wrong. I hope that the public is proved wrong. But that's the public expectation. As a matter of fact, a young man posted that if he's going for vetting, he should go with his pillow, his blanket, and a mattress, because it's going to be grueling.
He's anticipating it.
Yeah, a long time. Why? Because he has been a leading advocate and made allegations against people on the other side. So the expectation is that people on the other side are going to take advantage of this platform to engage in political point scoring. Why? Why? Is that the purpose? You would notice that the vetting of ministers has not always been with us. Indeed, when we had the Westminster type of governance, there was no vetting of ministers. Because I think that it was assumed at the time that ministers must be persons who simply are qualified as members of parliament, because ministers were taken from parliament. You know, so if you're a member of parliament, automatically you qualify to be a minister. So there was no need for vetting. It was when we introduced the hybrid of the American presidential system and the Westminster system, which made it possible to appoint people from outside parliament, that it became necessary to test their qualification. You understand? Their qualification to be ministers. And what is the qualification to be minister? What's the qualification to be minister? Some people even go to the extent of suggesting that we should test them for their technical knowledge and skills and so on. Well, I wouldn't object to that. You understand? But then I'm mindful of the fact that ministers are not technical heads of the ministries.
Necessarily.
They are political heads of the ministries. They are meant to be given political direction rather than technical direction. You understand? So if we overdwell on their technical competence and so on, we may not be doing injustice, we may not be doing justice to their roles as political heads of the ministries. And I've worked in the civil service, I've worked in the public service and so on. I've worked very closely under ministers and so on. Master, this whole elevated position of minister and so what is it? Some of these ministries can run without ministers. In fact, the ministers become an extra burden on the ministries. And sometimes they become impediments in the way of the technocrats who want to do things and so on. You know, and I know what I'm talking about. You know, the best minister may be one who is effective at coordination and good at initiating brainstorming sessions and so on, and allows, you know, some kind of participation in the decision-making process of all the relevant sectors and so on. That's the best minister.
Right.
I'm not PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.